Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Yay! Yay! It worked. The turnover chest. Now I like this. It's something. Hopefully the defense will rally around, because let's not forget, as I mentioned earlier, right, with Belton in that story, the article there I was reading, or a couple of the articles. Of course, it was just an absolute total embarrassment last season for the New York Giants, right? I mean, of course, we didn't want to bring back Saquon because he runs for 37,000 yards, wins a Super Bowl. He looks like the greatest running back of all time. Of course, everybody's laughing at the Giants. Then, of course, we let Xavier McKinney go, and he has 74,000 interceptions in the first 3 games, and everybody's laughing at the Giants. The Giants only had 5 interceptions as a team, all 17 games. And, of course, the guy we let go had, 75 trillion times the amount of, so, of course, everybody's laughing at the Giants, we really need, to get some interceptions, some fumble recoveries. I mean, we had, I think it was 15, right? And the league leaders had 33. Was it the Vikings? Who we got here? Yes, and turnovers. Okay, we go. All right. It was the Steelers and the Vikings. Each had 33. Right. So meanwhile, we had 15. Right. Make sure here we had 5 interceptions and 10 fumble recoveries. Right. But the league leaders had 33. They had 18 more than what we had. Basically, they had 1 a game. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in a lot of 1-score games, that one turnover can be huge. That one turnover can either stop a drive that the other team was going down the field to score, or it could give you the ball deep down in their territory where maybe you can score. So that one, or it could be a twofold kind of thing, right? That one possession that the team was walking down the field, and say they get to midfield or whatever, and they turn the ball over. Now we got the ball going back this way. Well, that could have been that one drive that whoever was going down the field and they were going to score, and they didn't score because we got a turnover. But not only that, so you take 3 points or 7 points off the board for them. But not only that, if we get the ball at the midfield or their 40-yard line or so, if we get like a first down or something, now we're in field goal range. Now it might give us 3 points. So now you take maybe 3 to 7 points off the board for them, and maybe you're giving us 3 or 7 points. So that could be a 3-point, 6-point, 10-point swing by that one turnover, right? So 5 interceptions. It's like, and the one thing is that you were kind of hoping, thinking, praying, right, that with Bowen's defense, we would get some interceptions, because obviously with Wink, he was sending everybody. He was sending his mother. He was sending everybody, people all over the place, which winds up bleeding guys, obviously in the secondary, man to man. You're not going to send 37 guys and have 3 guys in the zone. Well, the zone defense, three guys. One cornerback over there, one cornerback, one safety deep, and that's our zone. You're not doing that. Everybody's man to man, when you send in a bunch of guys. But with Bowen usually likes to get home with 4, right? Maybe blitz a guy here or there, but he likes to get that pressure with 4 a lot of times. Which a lot of times you get more of a zone kind of defense. So when the guys are in zone, they're backing up, right? Right? They got one eyeball on the receiver, one eyeball, like one of those lizards, right? One eye on the quarterback, right? One eye, in your zone, the receiver's coming through, right? Instead of running, side by side with the guy because you got to cover this guy, because then you have no idea when the quarterback's throwing the ball. But if you're in a zone, right, you're backing up, right, you're keeping people in front of you, you kind of have an idea when the quarterback's throwing the ball. You can make a break on it, so you kind of figure maybe we might get some interceptions. No, nope, 5. Whew. 5 all season long. Absolutely horrible. Well, Shane, he's doing something about it. So I got to give him a little bit of credit. I got to give him some credit. I seen this. I seen a couple pictures of this. I'm like, what the? But no, it's something. So I like it. I like it a lot. Shane Bowen explains the origin of the team's turnover chest. If turnovers are gold in the game of football for the defense, the Giants now have a place to store them. I like it. When it came to takeaways last season, it seemed as though every one of the New York Giants defense 10 fumble recoveries out of 16 forced fumbles, right, and 5 interceptions ranked 31st in the NFL were like those rare gold bullions just lying around waiting to be found. In fact, that's how the Giants defensive coordinator Shane Bowen is looking at it, turnovers this season, like gold bullion, right? Bowen has instituted a turnover chest for the Giants defense, an idea inspired by his son's first year of T-ball for a team nicknamed the Pirates. I like that. The main thing is emphasizing takeaways. We got to get better at takeaways. Somehow got the idea of piracy, violent, attacking to steal possessions or goods, right? He explained Thursday before the team's 6th OTA practice. Bowen now has his guys in practice store any balls they take away from the offense in a wooden chest that comes out to the practice field every day. So they pick a pass off. It goes in the turnover chest, right? I like that. The goal is to be a pirate and fill the chest. We got to find ways to get the ball, Bowen said. You can't what you emphasize. We're making it a priority this year to make sure we find ways to get the ball. So I like that. I said, let's see, can I get this here? Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. The thing was, I know the Giants, the year before that, right? What do we have here? Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, the year before that with Wink, the Giants had 31 turnovers, right? Had 18 interceptions and 13 fumbles. Now, the year before that, when they went to the playoffs, let's see here. What do we have here? The Giants were, what did the Giants have? Giants only had 19. They had 6 interceptions and 13 fumble recoveries. But 2 years ago, they went down big time. They went down big time. They were actually number 1 in the league 2 years ago. As horrible as our record we had was 6-11, right? But the defense had we had 18 interceptions and 13 fumble recoveries. 18 interceptions. We had 31. We were tied with the Ravens for first. It was the Giants and the Ravens at 31, and then the Bills at 30. So, we went from 31 turnovers 2 seasons ago down to 15. We were half. That's one of those things. It's like, like everything counts. When you're not good, shall we say, mediocre, however you want to put it, right? Everything counts. It's not like, like the Eagles or the Chiefs or something like that. With the Chiefs, it's like, we don't get a lot of turnovers on defense, but we make up for it because we got Patrick Mahomes. Like with the Eagles, right? The Eagles, we don't get a lot of turnovers on defense, but we make up for it because we got 2 great wide receivers, we got unbelievable offensive line, and we got Saquon Barkley. So we make up for it with our offense, right? You can't say that with the Giants. So with the Giants, Everything matters, right? Getting a third down and long, on defense, you got to get off the field, right? 4th and 1 on offense, you got to convert it, right? You got to get those turnovers, right? You got to keep the ball. You can't get penalties. Everything matters for the Giants because we're not the upper echelon, right? Everything matters, and turnovers is one of those things. Huge, absolutely huge. Obviously, not turning the ball over, but likewise on defense, getting the ball for your offense. Whether getting that turnover, whether it's taking a drive away from another team or setting up your offense in the other team's end of the field, right, where you can almost guarantee you're getting some points. That's huge, right? Really, really huge. Turnover chest. I'm gonna be interested in seeing that on the sidelines on Sunday. Like if somebody picks a pass off, that they show the guy running off to the side. Well, obviously, after they pick the pass off, they run down to the end and they do their dance or whatever in front of the cameras. But then, right, or after they get a fumble, recovery or whatever, right, then do they see the camera showing the guys running off on the sideline, right, running to the turnover chest, open that baby up, shoving that thing in the chest. So that's going to be something to certainly keep an eye on. But he is right. If you emphasize it, you think about it, all that stuff, sometimes that really, really helps. So at the turnover chest, something to keep an eye on.